goals in his last 3 games for Sinfield. That's 26 now in 3.5. And the Leeds fans in the South Stand hoping to cheer their team to a 4th successive victory as they build up momentum as we approach the back end of the weekly rounds.
Well, Brian McDermott should be pretty satisfied with the first 40 minutes. One of the biggest problems, especially early in the season, was the Rhinos' defence, especially in and around that ruck area. They've certainly tightened that up, and they've been impressive tonight. And the way that Kevin Sinfield has controlled the attack, the kicking game, it's also been of the highest quality.
One, no! Go, hands up, Chris!
So it's Hull who have the ball start of this second half. I'm just checking who made that initial run from the... I think it was Lee Radford, you know. And Lee Radford on the coaching staff, of course, at the KC Stadium, really leading the way. That was and here he is again. It was a tremendous run that Radford put in. 33 years of age, 1 try this year. This is his 4th appearance of 2012, and his 1 try came, yes, against Hull KR in the Easter Derby. Here's the last tackle of this opening set of 6. And Horn will get the kick in. Let's go down to Rod Studd, who's on the sideline with half-time news.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, Leeds pretty pleased with what they've done in the first half. They've played the conditions very well. They've kicked early in the tackle count. They've forced Hull under a lot of pressure. Just one thing they want to pick up on is just don't panic quite so much when they get close to the Hull line. They feel that they've had enough territory and possession to have scored more than the 2 tries they already have. Hull and Peter Gentle a little bit concerned with the way they've turned the ball over inside their own half on the Leeds Rhinos terms, if you like, and they want their side to up the tempo in this second period.
Okay now.
They'll have to up the tempo here in defence because Richard Moore looked as though he was in the mood before Lee Radford got to him. Now it's Danny Maguire trying to slice through the defence, nearly managed it as well. It's the last tackle here for Leeds, and Sean Lunt is waiting. Finds Sinfield, a precision kick from Sinfield all along the deck, and McGoldrick picks it up, safe hands. That's good chasing by Sinfield, and down he goes with a little bit of help from young Stevie Ward as well. The man that they are calling the new Kevin Sinfield at Leeds. He's certainly been likened to him, coming through the academy system.
He's walking forward.
The new Sinfield, or a young Kevin Sinfield, some people say.
Well, it's all about blood in them, isn't it? And having him at the side and playing alongside the experienced Sinfield certainly will help his future. But
good tackle from the young man there. Tremendous tackle on Aspinwall. That's Seymour, gets the ball wide to Westerman. And Turner trying to get past the Leeds defenders, couldn't do so.
Go.
Last tackle here for Hull. Again, lazily downfield from Seymour. He's never in any rush. And of course, good players always look like they have plenty of time.
Stand, hold,
and Jones Bishop wasn't held, so that's why Willie Manor was able to come in and drop on him on the ground.
nothing wrong with the tackle.
No, not at all. He could have got up and carried on running there. Bit of a reaction from the South Stand.
Well, they're biased, aren't they? Simple as that.
No.
And I'm glad that they are. It's great support. We really have.
What a pass from Moore. Finds Lunt. He finds Maguire, who finds Sinfield. Maybe Sinfield should have released the pass. Lunt again. Maguire wide to Ablett, further wide to Ryan Hall. And Ryan Hall in for a try at the start of this second half. On his 150th Leeds appearance, the England international Ryan Hall. He's ever present for Leeds. He's their top try scorer. That's his 20th try of the season in all, his 16th in the Super League. 2 tries here against Castleford a fortnight ago. And well over 500 points for the Leeds Rhinos now for 24-year-old Ryan Hall.
Good impact play, offload, and you'll always catch out the opposition in their defence. Down that short blind side, Ablett, absolutely superb. Sucks in the youngster. 2-on-1 situation. Nothing more that Crooks could do. You see, he had to go for Ablett. It left a clear run for Ryan Hall. Took a chance, always does.
Nothing that McGoldrick could do. Big hole down that left-hand side for Leeds, and Ryan Hall aquaplaning over the line for another Leeds Rhinos try.
It's the experience that you tell on that short blind side. Danny Maguire coming on the arc, realising that the big fella Carl Ablett, it left it indecision by the youngster Crooks. He had to come in. It was a 2-on-1, and Ryan Hall has given this man the opportunity to add the extra 2.
And Sinfield obliges with a brilliant kick. Absolutely magnificent kick. 20-0.
I think one of the most pleasing things for the Leeds players and the Leeds coaching staff when they watch that try again is that it looked like the Leeds Rhinos, the champion Leeds Rhinos, playing at a fast tempo, quick accurate passes. Obviously the offload from Richard Moore set them on the way, but that was like what we've seen from the Leeds when they've been at the very best.
You can also feel the contrasting styles of both teams tonight. Hull steady away, trying to complete, trying to kick. The moment Richard Moore offloaded that ball, Leeds just went up a gear. Everybody pushed and made themselves available.
Richard Moore is in possession again. He's featured in just one of the last 4, 6 different Super League crops. That's almost a Cumberland throw, wasn't it, from Joe Westerman?
Well, he didn't use the legs, and that's how he got away with it. Cumberland throw, you swing at the right moment. You got to get the leg at the side, which is against the law these days. It's another good kick and chase. Oh, it's a slippery. Oh, and it's come out with a knock on.
Well, the conditions robbed him there, as well as everything else. Look, bang. That's nothing wrong with that. There's the knock on.
Yeah.
But he had such a good first half, didn't he? I was going to suggest that maybe he's a candidate for Young Player of the Year, this young man. 19 years of age. Fabulous rugby league pedigree, of course, with his dad.
He'll learn. In these wet conditions, even the great players come up with errors.
Well, his teammates now have to defend, because if they get in again, this game for Leeds is almost in the pocket. It's almost beyond repair for the black and white.
It is, and the man that's playing the ball is creating all sorts of havoc for the black and whites, but the young kid has gone through. Quick play the ball here. Holler in a lot of trouble on that left.
I must say, Ward also looks like a Young Player of the Year candidate. Sinfield, Maguire. How did that pass stick? But it did somehow with Delaney, and they're offside. Hull offside on their own line. McGoldrick almost running through the referee to try and get there. This is Clarkson. Lunt again, just pointing the direction. Going himself, though, Sean Lunt. And Hull managed to hold him out right next to the posts.
He's a live wire, isn't it, Lunt? And you've got to give him a lot of credit. He creates all sort of problems. He didn't go across him. That was good refereeing. Stopped in time, did Maguire.
Oh, he's lost about 20 metres there, though, has Danny Maguire, all the way back to his 20-metre line.
Good tackle by Richard Horn.
Here comes Callum Watkins. Oh, he's lost the ball.
No advantage to put the scrum down, and to the relief of Hull.
And they all just turned round then, and they looked at Ben Crooks and the Hull players after this ball hits the ground. They turn round, they applaud it, telling the young man not to worry about the mistake that he's made, that they've survived.
They might have to worry in a few minutes though if Rob Burrow comes onto the field. We've seen Sean Lunt play for all of it. The only Leeds player yet to get on and get dirty is young Rob Burrow, and as the game wears on and the big players get more tired in the middle, he's the last person in this competition you want to see emerging onto the field.
You're showing your age there, Phil.
Yes,
young Rob Burrow. He's 29.
Very young, very, very young. He's just learning the game.
He's young to one or two of us up here, but.
Yes, why are you looking at me?
I'm not looking at anybody. I'm watching this this match here that's unfolding in front of us. Hull they've got to try and get a toehold into this match. They've lost the ball though here.
That's play on. Went backwards. That's good refereeing. Yeah, they've got to try something different, haven't they? The black and whites.
Well, Richard Moore gets this ball. You would have thought that would be 6 more tackles for Hull, but I don't think it has been.
No, he hasn't ruled that. This is the last one. Did Moore get to it? I know he played at it. Oh dear, they're in a lot of trouble here. And Richard Horn offloads the ball, then the ball comes out. Penalty to the Leeds Rhinos. Horn actually thought that this was a knock-on. There's the what should have been 6 to go, maybe.
It should have been.
And then there was a right schmozzle here. There's, well, he reckoned that was a knock-on.
It was before that the problem applied. Well, there's a little fella.
He's out there. Young Rob is out there.
Yeah.
Some clear problems for Hull SC. Really struggled before that play to get any yardage at all on the exit set, and then couldn't get a kick in. Went from scrum half to standoff. Ball turned over very, very cheaply. You're now facing the Leeds Rhinos, the World Club champions.
And the ball finds its way out there to Ryan Hall somehow. And he almost, with the strength, got away from the tacklers. Westerman saw to it that he didn't. Little fumble from Maguire, gives it then to Delaney.
Again, Sinfield barking out the orders.
Here's another penalty, hands in the ruck, interference.
Well, they're getting desperate now, aren't they? They realise that momentum and, of course, the amount of possession that the Rhinos have had. And they'll be tiring very, very quickly as we get towards the final quarter here. They've had to do a lot of work of Hull in defence.
Moore plays it to Burrow. It's Sinfield. Just dropped the shoulder, Sinfield, thought about the pass, took the tackle himself. Burrow will have a scamper away. Give it to Maguire. Maguire will spin to the ground under the challenge from Seymour. There's Burrow again. Now Peacock. Peacock turns his back. Down he goes.
Beep on his own, throw the dummy.
Round the ankles of Hardaker. Hardaker, still going, Hardaker. Now then, does he get that down?
I think he loses it.
It's a knock-on. The referee doesn't hand this upstairs to Ian Smith. He makes the decision himself.
Well, the whole defence just held off, and you can't afford to do that with the sidestepping of Hardaker. He knew he hadn't got it right down. Good position, though, by Tim Roby. Look at the step. He's very light on his feet.
Just remember, less than 2 years ago, he was playing in a competition below this level, Featherstone, and doing very well at that club. And people at the Leeds Rhinos decided that he had the potential, in their view, to get here and be one of the best at the Leeds club. And I think over the next few years, don't forget, he's only 20 years of age. Okay, he didn't come up with that score, but it was pretty good. There aren't many players can dance through defenders like he just did.
Indeed, there's another candidate for Young Player of the Year. He's certainly in the age bracket at 20 years of age.
And particularly because he's an ever-present. He's played a lot of games. Some of the other names don't get as much. You know, we've seen him now. This is his 4th game as a fullback. A few more chances to run with the ball. All the surface tonight and the weather hasn't really allowed him to show us what he's got.
Another charge down, this time by Burrow. The referee wipes the tackle count down. Has Ryan McGoldrick seen that? Yes, he has, I think. It's a unique performance tonight from McGoldrick. There's the charge down from Burrow. The arms were up in the air. He had the distinction of playing on Monday for Castleford on Sky Sports. Here he is again tonight now on Friday playing on Sky Sports for a different club. We think that's a first, and he was only registered at 2 o'clock today.
The Hull SC back in possession of the ball almost by good luck rather than good judgment. Just not getting to grips with their kicking game at all tonight. Maybe they've got a kick from the ruck, because every time that ball goes wide and relatively shallow to Brett Seymour, Leeds find it quite easy to get some bodies in front of him.
Nice little dab through by Richard Horn. This will cause a few problems. It could be a try for Richard Horn. He's followed up his own kick. There was a fumble behind the line, and I think this could well be a try. Was Ben Jones-Bishop the man who just couldn't get to it? Let's have a look at it all again. It's upstairs in Ian Smith's hands.
Horn gets booed the ball.
And he kicked it and he got there first, so he's put everyone on side.
And it's a fumble there. And the wing is definitely... Well, he got a fingertip to it, hits the knee, slides away.
He doesn't ground it, does he? No way does he ground it.
Well, we can't see from this angle, but we will from this one. There's the ball, and keep your eye on. There's the man. Richard Horne, he's got it down. That's try time.
No suggestion that Willie Manu's hand brushed across it first, no. Don't think so.
T.R. White.
Ian Smith agrees. Try for Hull. They're on the board. And that's important for them.
Well, we knew it would take something different, and
Cheers, mate.
Richard Horne definitely has at least got the scoreboard clicking as far as they're concerned. It's a long way back, but you can never say never in this game. They could see that Hardacre just a little bit slow to get across. Should have been covered by the winger Ben Jones-Bishop, but it bobbles all over in this wet condition. Tried to pick it up. Maybe it'd be far better to have got the boot to it. Either way, Hull on the scoreboard. Can he turn it to extra two?
Heremiah, there's no Danny Tickle between now and the end of the season. They think he's gone for the rest of the campaign, so
Joe Westerman
was it?
Yeah, he's put the 2 points in, and I think we're in a perfect situation here. It was a kick from Richard Horne. You've seen the kick from Joe Westerman. The Horne puts it through, and then they've managed to pick up the pieces. And Hull, in my opinion, now become a very dangerous side. There is virtually no pressure on them at all. 14 points behind, nobody expects them to win. And with players like Tom Briscoe and Willie Manu, who can create something from nothing, there is a chance for them here. Now, they'll have to respect and control possession. They need more than 50% of the ball now in the time that's left in this match to give themselves a chance. But with some patience and the players they've got, they just could make something special.
Yes, it was Westerman who kicked the goal. My apologies. I read the caption. I didn't look at the man. My fault.
Go.
So it doesn't matter who scores them for Hull at the moment, because they're 26 down. They've still got time. Now 14 points is gettable, isn't it?
Certainly is. And look, it gives some indication that Hull had to go for the kicking game to break down this Leeds defence. So if they get anywhere near again, they've got to utilise it. Richard Horne have the confidence.
Can they get this kick away?
They do.
Give 10 here,
Seymour. And Hardacre picks it up.
Surrender!
Doesn't get outside the 20-metre zone. Hall. Solid run from him, makes 10 good metres.
Well, at best, Hull trying to play with patience. The very, very good set of six carrying the ball. Their exit was very, very reasonable. The kick in a good position, but very lame. Leeds have no stress, no pressure on them whatsoever to come away with that pick-up on the back end of the Hull kick.
Good wide pass from Burrow. Here is Ryan Hall again. Always ready to have a run towards the other end, isn't he, from that touchline, no matter how far away he is.
Clear.
Long kick downfield, that will skip its way over the sideline, just this side of the 20-metre mark, I think.
Tremendous kick though, wasn't it?
It was inside the 40 as well, and
just short. Yeah, but they realise they've got the points on the board, and the skipper knows too. Get that ball way downfield, and maybe they can just dislodge this ball, bring out the error.
Time off.
It's all about percentage. Get yourself down there. And the way that Leeds have been defending, you wouldn't bet against the fact that the black and whites could come up with an error.
That's a great half break, isn't it? Right from play one from a scrum. That's very
and
difficult.
he gets the penalty for his persistence in trying to get to his feet. Briscoe, the man.
Yeah, not the best from Ryan Bailey. He'll get no plaudits from his coach Brian McDermott, especially with the fact that he'll get another 30 metres downfield.
It'll be very interesting to see now if Hull manage to complete a good proportion of this set and get into good ball, what kind of kick they're going to come up with, if that's what they choose to do so, at the end of their set. Are they going to simply turn the ball over very lamely, or are they going to challenge Leeds to come up with a big play?
Well, the objective is with the forwards try to pull in this Leeds defence, but I keep saying it all night, their discipline in that department is outstanding.
Richard Horne. Almost through, but Clarkson saw to it with Delaney, wasn't going any further. Here is Seymour flooding down that left-hand side now. Jordan Turner again. Every time he seems to get it, Turner, he's surrounded by Leeds Rhinos jerseys. It's Seymour, and that is Liam Watts. Watts just stumbling his way into the 20-metre zone. Down he goes. Heremiah to Horn. Little kick slid in behind the defence into the corner, and Hardaker didn't have to touch that. 20-metre restart.
Well, it's the option that we were calling to. Does he touch it?
If he did, he was pushed, I think, wasn't he, by the Hull player, so...
It's amazing, this the try scored by Richard Horn just certainly lifted the spirits. Look at the enthusiastic defence now. It hasn't been like that throughout this game, all the time with the black and whites.
Well, 21 minutes remaining. They know that there's time on their side. Another try here from Hull, and it would be very interesting. Burrow, almost through, flung to the ground by Andy Lynch.
Well, this is where Leeds need to kick early in the tackle count, and they are.
Yes, Sinfield does that. Turns Ryan McGoldrick around. Will that ball find its way to the dead ball line? Yes, it does.
He'll be disappointed slightly, but he knows that the way that they're organising themselves, tap on the 20, they'll line up on that 30. And look, even from that tap, they've only gone about 4 metres forward.
They're going to go a few more metres forward now, because there was interference as Ben Crooks was trying to get to his feet again.
Well, Sinfield was in there as well. You can see he was holding the shirt.
A little bit of consistency there from Tim Roby, the referee. He's penalised Hull FC for a few similar incidents.
It's a big penalty count, isn't it? 10-4 one way now, then you have to make hay when the sun shines. It's not done a lot here today, but a lot of ball now for the whole team. Inside the opponent's half, they've got to make a difference in this match now. Somebody somehow has got to penetrate through, break through Leeds' line and get some more points.
It was Andy Lynch with the first drive. Here is Heremiah, and he gives it to Seymour. That's good work from Stevie Ward. Stood up for the challenge well. The touch judge is on, and he's seen something here. He wants a word with Tim Roby.
Please, boys. Just let me speak to the touch judge. Let me speak to the touch judge. Yeah, just come here. What have you got? Yeah, you're looking in.
We can't hear the...
Right, okay, we've got a push from Manu.
touch
Push
judge.
from Manu.
It's a penalty to Leeds for a push from Willie Manu, I think he said.
Manu's going through the line, he's gone into Bailey.
Well, push from where?
Well, Ryan Bailey knocked Willie Manu over first, and then when he got up, he pushed him, and there was obviously the touch judge has only seen the second thing, hasn't he?
That's not what Tim Roby said. Willie Manu was going through the line and he pushed Ryan Bailey.
Oh, leave me alone. This is rugby league. Deary me.
Burrow and young Ward. Down he goes. It's Darryl Griffin now for the Rhinos. Burrow's waiting.
He needs to scamper a bit from dummy half as well, Burrow.
Gives it to Hardaker. Ooh, and Watkins puts it down.
That'll infuriate the coach, Brian McDermott.
Chance here for the black and whites then, and Whiting has seen a gap, and away he goes, Richard Whiting. Good job that Hardaker had funneled back in defence. Leeds slightly
They're all
in
offside.
disarray in defence.
Well, there wasn't one player on the Leeds side that actually made the 10. He allowed it advantage. Oh, read it well, didn't he? Sinfield to Daddy, all wrapped up.
Put him on his back, hold, go.
Seymour, and gets it away here to Jay Pitts.
Well, the Leeds fullback is deep. Maybe the chip over the top.
Lynch bounces its way to Turner. That was McGoldrick. He just tried to put the man through the gap. He succeeded. Ben Crooks, though, goes down. Tackle number 4. Turner again. Seymour. And that's the last coming up for Hull FC. So expect the kick here from Seymour or someone. No, they're going down the short side. Everyone was expecting the kick, me included, but the Leeds Rhinos defence were alert to it. They turn the ball over, though, 5 metres away from the Leeds line, but there's a bit of frustration there from Peter Gentle.
Well, I'm sure that the whole coach was looking for that little dink into the in-goal area. Get another set of 6, try to pressurise this defence.
But proved to be not the best play that Hull have done all night, but for me, it looked like they were going to have a go. They went down the short side, they were trying to force the issue. The usual kicker, Brett Seymour, wasn't able to get to the first kick. Horn had gone around, but at least they ran around the back and looked like they were making an attempt. They're trying to force the issue now with the Leeds Rhinos and trying to put some pressure on them.
Sinfield with a measured kick, looking for a 40-20 again. I think he just measured it to perfection, not for the 40-20, but it found the right side of the whitewash.
Intelligent. He was well in radar, but didn't make it, just about 12 metres shy, but it's an excellent kick.
Hull arrived here on the back of a 28-24 win at home against Huddersfield last week, the first win of the season against the team that beat them in Super League and knocked them out of the Challenge Cup. It was also the first win in 5 matches at Super League level for the Black and Whites. They've been a little bit stuttering this year. They started so well though, didn't they? I think Peter Gentle, he suffered 1 defeat in his first 9, but the wheels have come off lately. Since the Good Friday victory against Hull KR, they've only won 3 of 10.
Go.
It's all about qualification for those playoffs, isn't it? It's all about what happens then after that. Richard Horn, he has the talent, so does Seymour. That's a great take by Manu. Oh, and he's lost it under pressure. There's a good hit by Sinfield again. Right underneath the ball.
Was it ever? You talk about Captain Courageous and a man that not only does the defence, but he has just controlled this game, especially in the second half when they've got a commanding lead.
Man of the match candidate?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
So someone has to come maybe and take the champagne away from Kevin Sinfield in the last quarter of an hour.
Well, it was a hat-trick by one of the Hull players, and that's what they need. You never know.
Come on, let's hold it.
We talk about the brilliance of Sinfield. When he's in this mode, it's very, very hard to shut down. But he does so much work with those long kicks. It's a reprieve, isn't it, for his forwards. They don't have to trundle it up 4 or 5 times and get 30 metres downfield. They know they can get the kick away and just keep turning the whole side around.
I don't think Leeds have played particularly well for the last 10 or 15 minutes, but what they've done well enough is prevent Hull from having the ball near to their own try line. And as we saw, as the game wears on, if you get close to your opponent's line, you've got a great chance of winning. And Kevin Sinfield's control of the match, playing it 100 metres from their own try line, gives them the best possible chance of maintaining their stranglehold on the match.
And it was Sinfield who helped out in the chase there, and it was him who got Ryan McGoldrick to the ground. Quarter of an hour remaining, only 14 points in it though. Leeds 20, Hull FC 6. The champions need another score really to make sure, and Hull need another score to really get back into it, and that's what they're looking for here. And Briscoe's moved over from one side to the other, but the pass to Ben Crooks wasn't the best. To Yeaman rather, I beg your pardon. Wasn't the best.
No, I had to reach back for it. It's always hard to decide whether the winger has gone too early or whether the pass was behind. But in these wet conditions, if you don't get it absolutely spot on, you're going to lose possession. And it just shows you the influence of the kick and chase from Sinfield. Went down, did the tackle, looked for the mistake. They've got it.
Absolutely. Game management from the Leeds Rhinos has been almost first class tonight. Hull have just not been able to compete with the Rhinos in terms of controlling the game. But you've got to really credit Kevin Sinfield for being the main architect of what Leeds do, why they do it and when they do it. For me, for Hull FC, you realistically don't think a decent run from Hull FC isn't too far away. Simple things like line speed. It's been relatively decent for some patches of this game. A little bit more ball, a little bit more better field position, a far better kicking game, and Hull can certainly turn the corner.
Looks like it's a lost ball here. Darryl Griffin disputes the call. The coach doesn't look terribly impressed.
Time off. You're messing about playing for a penalty, mate.
It was a nice little flick back, wasn't it? He said, well, I can't play the ball with a bloke in front of me. The
referee saying that Darryl Griffin was trying to steal a penalty then. Leeds, although they're not playing a a team above them in the table. They're level pegging on points coming into this match with Hull. They've played 7 games against the sides above them in the table this year. They've only won twice here against Warrington and the Catalan Dragons. That could be the key to their run to another grand final if they can get a couple of games on this ground, make themselves in a position to defend the trophy.
We talk about key factors and how you can control a game and change it all around. Is that I think when we have the interview with Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach, he will say quite categorically, and that was a forward pass, that it's their defence tonight that has pleased him. Well, it should. He's a hard man to please, I can assure you, is Brian McDermott, but he'll give them credit, I'm sure.
Brian McGoldrick there trying to force the issue.
Warrington Catalan is a great game in prospect Monday, live, 7:30, Sky Sports 1 HD and stunning Sky Sports 3D. We've got a week off then for the Challenge Cup. We come back on Friday the 20th. 2 weeks tonight, we're in the south of France. Catalan Dragons against the Saints on 1 HD at 7:30 again. And then our Monday night offering is the big city derby, Hull KR against Hull. Sky Sports 2 HD and available in Sky 3D again. Monday the 23rd of July, a great summer of rugby league.
We might get a bit of sunshine down in the south of France.
We might get a bit of sun a little bit later on in the month. Let's hope so. Sinfield, good hit.
Certainly
that was a great hit.
This is 0 now.
And Yeaman made his presence felt then.
0. Move, Kev.
Did he ever? Sinfield knew he was coming for him as well, just couldn't control it. I mentioned earlier in the game that that looked slightly dangerous, got away with it. Is that one of the biggest problems for the Rhinos early in the season was that they were being cut down the middle from the play the ball area. They've certainly worked hard in the first and second marker department.
I think Ryan McGoldrick might just offer Hull FC something. Every time he's been involved tonight, he's managed to get the ball away neatly. That's a great ball to Richard Horne from Liam Watts. And Richard Horne, there's no one in support. He wants to quick play the ball. Jay Pitts, they go wide. Jordan Turner fumbling, gets the ball wide. Good scrambling defence on Ben Crooks from the Leeds Rhinos defenders there.
And look who it was. Captain Courageous Sinfield.
Last tackle, Seymour with the kick into the danger area. That ball's been dropped.
He's got it. It's all backwards.
And it's with Leeds. Was that another knock on by Leeds? Obviously not. The referee was very close. And they're all offside now. Richard Horne's offside.
You know, that was a real poor set of decisions from the referee and from the touch judges. The late challenge then on the kicker was from a Leeds player that must have been 4 metres offside, and no one spotted it. So, you know, Hull couldn't come up with the play at the back end of the set, but the man kicking the ball, you know, was 4 metres offside, no one's seen it. If you're going to be that particular, as the officials have been in the game so far, you've got to see a man who's 4 metres off the try line.
There'll be a knock on. The black and whites have the opportunity.
Knock on each way. The referee will stop the clock. Time is of the essence for Hull.
It was a big hit as well by the second rower, Jay Pitts.
Yeah, time's on, boys. What's up?
Well, can they finish with a flourish? They're running out of time. That's the biggest problem that they face.
Is that a problem for them? Callum Watkins, perhaps with cramp. We've got the Cup semi-final next week. He's not had a great game, but he is a great player. And on the day,
Brian McDermott, I think, in the build-up to this, says he's got half an eye on next weekend. So here is Yeaman. Briscoe waits. Richard Horne stooping and picking it up. This now is Liam Watts. Only the second man in the Super League era to switch east for West Hull. James Webster was the first. That ball went behind. The referee says play on. It's still 2. So Briscoe, dangerous in broken play.
Quick play the ball. That's what they needed.
Well, they're loaded down the right-hand side. Hull, can they get it out that way? Lynch and McGoldrick fires the pass, and Westerman almost spun away Very important tackle that by Danny Maguire. Going left again, going right again rather, and Turner looking for the flyer out wide. It didn't come off, the ball runs dead, and another chance goes begging.
And again, you've got to appreciate the confidence that has been shown in that Leeds defence. When you force the opposition to virtually put in a panic kick, and that's how it turned out.
No!
They really have recovered very, very quickly indeed. They've worked hard for themselves as the Rhinos. It's been a good all-round team performance.
Move man, Andy! Hold, lads.
Ben Jones-Bishop gets to his feet, plays the ball to Burrow. Here is Peacock.
Well, but they go early in the tackle count yet again with the kick. I think they might have to on that occasion.
Stay square, goal 4.
Maguire shaped to kick and then jinked his way away from a couple of defenders. An ankle tap by Jeremiah forced the knock-on.
What is it then?
Well, he shaped up for the early kick and then realised that they were out of position. Twinkle toes and loses possession there. Not impressed.
No, frustrated with himself, isn't he, Danny Maguire? Just on the cusp of becoming the greatest ever try scorer in Super League history. Keith Senior with 199 is ahead of him. He's got 196. Keith's 199 coming in 413 appearances. 252 appearances is all it's taken Danny.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident that he'll pass that mark before the end of the season.
This is a right shoe model.
Yeah. It's been one of those nights, hasn't it, for the visitors?
They're asking an awful lot of Ben Crooks there, aren't they? You know, a young player playing out of position, play one from the scrum, not the best catch and pass from the base to the scrum across the line. If they're going to do that, you might as well kick and let him chase it and turn the ball over, you know, in the league's in goal.
Yeah, I'm sure that Peter Gentle will be looking through the tape of this and will pick up on quite a few problems that they certainly have to rectify.
Burrow and Peacock. Burrow's there again.
You know, in these conditions, a team that wants to do well in the run-in for the playoffs is how you can win a game by total control, good defence. It doesn't have to be overexciting, doesn't have to overplay, just keep the position, keep applying the pressure, and that is what Leeds have done virtually throughout this game.
Nice tackle here. Burrow, dab to the in-goal area, swept up by McGoldrick. The referee says he's grounded that ball on the line, so it's a goal line dropout.
Yeah,
it slid away from McGoldrick eventually.
Well, to be fair, a new purchase, Ryan McGoldrick, has played well, doesn't deserve to be on the losing side.
Don't you often find that, though, with a new player transferring mid-season? They come with so much enthusiasm. I think we saw it when Sean Lunt came here, didn't he, just a few weeks ago, and transferred from Huddersfield for his first match. So I guess maintaining that week after week, which is the challenge. Good tackle there by Jay Pitts on Jamie Peacock.
Griffin, take it up the middle. Get to within 20 metres or thereabouts. Inside the last 5 now. Looks like it's Leeds night. Apart from the kick that produced the try for Richard Horne, they haven't really broken this Leeds defence down, have they? Which will be a disappointment for Peter Gentle, I'm sure.
Budilli offloaded there, didn't he? But
he thought about the pass.
Jay Pitts was in the way.
Burrow, Peacock.
Oh, I'd go for a field goal. Why not?
I think they might do too. Sinfield, just to please the old man, and he gets it as well, Kevin Sinfield.
That's a good drop goal under pressure, isn't it? In difficult circumstances, we've talked about how wet the pitch is. It bounces, snaps it very quickly. And maybe in other games this season, there'll be a time and a place when they have to get that inside the last few minutes. Brilliant execution.
I think that's nailed it. I think he's got a bottle of champagne, and I think he's got £100 to a charity of his choice. Now that he's got the 1-pointer, he can't be dislodged.
Well, I think you might be right for once, Eddie. And all I'm saying, the only way that it's that he can't get the bottle of champagne if Rod Studd runs away and jumps it in the car and doesn't give it to him.
Backwards. Okay.
Leeds have it back via Sinfield to Maguire.
Is it just coincidence, Eddie, or is Kevin Sinfield on the end of every single thing that Leeds do? Whether it's a ball that's ricocheted off and he's the man to pick it up, the man who makes the big kicks, the big plays, he simply puts himself about. I think he's covered every single blade of grass at Headingley here tonight.
Yes, he has, and Ablett has hold of it. Hops his way to ground on halfway.
It's falling forward.
Peacock to Hardacre. Oh, it was a pass looking for a double knock-on here. It was a knock-on first of all by Watkins, who was he's not had one of his best nights, has he, tonight, Callum?
No, it hasn't been a night for 3 quarters, to be fair. Okay, the rain sort of ceased 5 minutes after we kicked off, but it's been very, very wet.
They're doing too much work in the dance studio this week, I think. That's what it is, these Leeds players, for Rob Burrows' testimonial affair tomorrow. Extra time follows via the red buttons with the boys. They'll be waiting. And now Yeaman comes up with a knock-on. Well, fatigue and this pitch very wet. Ball, therefore, very wet.
Just about sums it up. I mean, you make the point, Eddie, in regards to, you know, the likes of Callum Watkins. Not really had his best game, but there hasn't been a 3-quarter that has shown the skills that we know both sides have, and that only comes about by dry weather, and they know it. I'm just hoping that we do get just dry weather, and not too much sunshine, just dry. Stop raining, please.
Well, I'm sure that's echoed by the poor people in the Midlands and in Gloucestershire and Worcester, who are underwater at the moment. This win, though, for Leeds, as it will be now, is their 4th in a row. It equals their best run of the season so far. Oh, there's a penalty. Richard Horne, he almost made a dive for it, didn't he? I'm sure it wasn't meant, but he was in the ruck. There was interference, and as he slid forward, look, he just touches the foot and then touches the ball. It's ending a little untidily.
Yeah, teams talking about grinding out a result. Well, I think that's what Leeds have done. The defence near their own try line just seems to have been better, and early in the match we saw in the first half, Leeds could handle it, couldn't they, when they were having to kick the ball out, drop out sets, standing so close to the line. They were well enough organised and well enough disciplined to prevent Hull from scoring, but at times Hull weren't strong enough, and to me there's very little between these two sides other than Leeds' ability to defend the line better when tested so many times. Now then, can the Rhinos fans send the fans home happy? Players, I say, send the fans home happy. One final try. Piece of magic.
They've got 35 seconds to find it. Clarkson will have a dash. Yeah, they've done well here, Leeds. They've backed up again after an England exiles fixture, and they've come up with the goods. They did it after the first game. 48 hours later they played, and they backed up most of their England and exiles internationals, and they've done the same again here tonight. 1 or 2 have missed out. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Kylie Lulawai. But this little fellow, Burrow, he is backed up after Wednesday, and they've come away with the win. Because there's only a couple of seconds now, and there is the final siren. Hull weren't interested in getting the goal line drop out away. Brian McDermott, 4 from 4, equaling their best run of the season. And needless to say, it's not a 3-quarter who has won the Man of the Match award. It is a forward. It was that sort of night, Phil, for the forwards.
It was, wasn't it? Adapting to the conditions, starting well, which was something that Leeds have been trying, I'm sure, to do with games at times. We've watched them blown away, particularly by Wigan in the opening quarter. They had to start this game better, and they did tonight. Maybe that's a lesson they've learned in the last month, where all of a sudden perhaps the confidence from last year started to return to the Rhinos. Nobody knows where confidence goes to. Nobody knows where it comes back from, but at the moment there's an air and a feeling now with 1 or 2 of the tries, and some of the habits that they've developed, to chase the kicks as though they're live defend upon it, and to put kickers under pressure when the other team have the ball.
OK, man of the match, we've known who it's been for a quarter of an hour or more. Kevin Sinfield with Rod.
Kevin, well done, man of the match performance. There's a bottle of champagne. People who don't live in the area won't realise quite how much rain has fallen here today and how difficult these conditions are. It was a masterclass in wet weather football by Leeds, wasn't it?
I'm not sure about that.
It looked good from here.
First half, I thought we played some good stuff, but second half we were a bit too sloppy, too many unforced errors, and fortunately we had enough in our defence tonight to get us through, but it wasn't vintage. First half I'm pleased with, but second half wasn't good enough.
People talk about defence being an attitude. There was that attitude in defence, there wasn't it, when Richard Horn broke through towards the end and you and a bunch of lads got back to stop them with the breakthrough?
Yeah, there's an urgency and an attitude about us again, and that's great to see, because for some reason we lost it for a little while, and I don't think you can coach it. I think you've either got it or you haven't, and on some weeks we have and some weeks we haven't, but thankfully tonight we've had it.
You're now level with St Helens on points, you're joint fourth, you're behind them on points difference. A few weeks ago you weren't even in the top 8. It's funny how things can change very quickly, isn't it?
We're not bothered about the table yet. We'll see how we go in another 7 or 8 rounds or so. We're just happy now. We're putting some decent performances together. Like I said, the second half weren't great, but we picked up another 2 points, and that's what we needed.
You've got a big cup tie against Wigan coming up, so we wish you the best with that. But what about the charity money, £100 to charity of your choice?
Can I split it, please, between the Waziki Children's Home and Yorkshire Kidney Research Fund, please?
Well done, well played, Kevin. Thanks for talking to us. Here's Ryan McGoldrick. Well, it's been a whistle-stop 48 hours or so for you, Ryan. You were at the Exiles game watching in midweek. You didn't know what was going on, really. You ended up at Hull. Just sum up the last sort of 48 hours or so for yourself.
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic. I was down in London all day yesterday trying to get my work permit and all that sorted, and didn't sign with them until this morning. And first time I met most of the boys was on the bus on the way here, so it's been a pretty whirlwind 24, 48 hours.
The bus journey wasn't that good either, was it? Because you were late here as well. But just sum up what you found in the first performance here for Hull. What do you think you can do going forward?
Mate, I'm excited about the next couple of weeks. It's an opportunity for both of us, the club and myself, sort of trial things out. And I'm excited to work with some of these players and see where we can go. Obviously the goals are top 8 and we'll go from there. But we dropped too much ball today. But I don't want to speak too much about the team thing. I've only just come into it, so it's up to them, and I'll work with them this week.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Good luck at your new club. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Funny couple of days for Ryan McGoldrick, introduced to some of his new teammates on the bus. Did you hear that in the interview? Well, whether he did or he didn't know them, they have lost. And the Leeds Rhinos have won by 21 points to 6. They had to grind it out in the end, didn't they? It wasn't a night really for fancy rugby league. It wasn't a night for flash football. It was a night for exactly what Leeds produced.
It was, and Kevin Sinfield managed the game masterly, in my opinion. For me, I mean, it's not the worst scoreline in the world, is it? 21-6 when you come to Headingley. It's the manner of the defeat for me, for Hull, that just rankles a little. I just didn't think they had a real go at Leeds when they got some good field position. They didn't get much of it, but there was enough to cause Leeds more problems. The weather, and Leeds made some errors on their try line. A few balls, a few knock-ons, didn't handle a few kicks well. They could have done just a little bit more. But there's some good signs in there for Hull. Leeds have played that game, not got to 5th gear, didn't need it. Controlled by Kevin Sinfield. For me, Hull, there's a little bit of something in the game. It just didn't quite go the way. The kicking game was appalling tonight. If that's bettered, if that's mastered, they can still cause some teams some problems from now on in.
Well, yeah, they probably can, but if you look at purely and simply on results, Steve-O, I mean, that's yet another defeat for Hull, and they're stuttering their way into the playoffs rather than really mounting a challenge at this stage.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that, their forwards are not taking control. We saw that from Leeds very, very early. They were getting over the advantage line. And when you can do that, then you've got, the likes of the halfback, Maguire and Sinfield. You can control the game. Rather surprising that Kevin Sinfield suggested it wasn't the best display in the second half. They didn't need to come out with all this fancy rugby league football. They're back on the horse. They know that they're starting to control it. Brian McDermott, their coach, will be very, very pleased not only with their defence, but their tactics, their attitude. In that second half, they were always being pegged out. When Hull got into their opposite half, when they got possession, all that Leeds would do, they'd kick sometimes on the second, sometimes on the third, but never waited until the last tackle. They are good tactics. In wet conditions, turn them around, Sinfield, kick, kick, kick. It was just monotonous, but it were the right tactics to win the game. They really are showing that a lot of people said they'd write them off. They did it last year, and they'd have to feel a lot of rugby league teams left in this Super League competition will be thinking, Leeds are getting back into the swing of things.
Yes, they are. I think Rod Studd suggested that they were now level on points with the Saints and up to equal fourth, only points difference separating those two teams. Well,